This video is brought to you by the case that can increase your download speeds by up to 30%. Go to amidcasing.com for more information. And the ultimate iPhone warranty that protects your phone from drops, spills, and everything Apple will not. SquareTrade.com/TSIG. What's going on there, YouTube? This is Quinn, that snazzy iPhone guy, and this is the kind of first hands-on demonstration of the End Control Avenger. Now, I ordered this way back in November as a pre-order, and it has since been shipped to me, well, today. I've been playing with it for about 2 hours, and it's probably one of the weirdest things I've ever tried. But that being said, it is pretty exciting, and I think it has potential to be a good product. Just as a prerequisite kind of rundown, I bought this for $59 way back in November, and it's currently at $39 for a launch day, kind of, it's a half off sale, not half off, but 20 bucks off sale until March 1st, I believe. Here's the issue. This is a beta model, or kind of, it's not. It's the first release, but they said we'll have an improved model in 2 months. And early adopters, which I don't know what that's defined as. I don't know if you could buy one today and be considered an early adopter, but for pre-orderers, for sure, for me, I get a free upgrade. So I get a 100% discount when the new one comes out. My question is if you guys buy one today for 39 bucks, will you get the new one free of charge? I don't know. So you may want to contact them and kind of figure out, if you do want the new one, what the rundown is. But for right now, for this model, for sure you can get it for 39 bucks rather than the 59 I paid. Whether or not you get the new one is, I don't know. So that's one thing to check on. But what it does is it essentially places all the buttons at your fingertips. And it does it in a way that's very unusual, but well thought out. And I think it's pretty interesting. Currently I have Black Ops in. As for the analog sticks, everything's the same. It remains unchanged. It's this little bracket and it's easy to put in. The difference though is there's some really bizarre features. So for the B, Y, and A buttons, you have these little hairline triggers. These are adjustable by these knobs and you can choose how sensitive they are. I have them all set for very sensitive, so I barely have to tap that to get into my 3 different stand-up positions, as you can see there. Now my Y button is accessible from a bunch of different ways. As you can see on the secondary camera, this is like a spider almost. It's very unusual, and that'll allow me to pull out my secondary weapon. You can enable it from way up here or back here. You kind of just push forward on this button, and it's really, really cool. So you can move to your secondary weapon by simply hitting that, and you're good to go. And the same remains true with the X button. Just hit the X. It's a little bit more off-center than the rest, as you can see, so it's kind of a little bit more difficult to access, but when you're shooting, reload by pressing that forward. So it kind of moves, you don't have to move so much off of your main buttons here with your main finger, so they're all moved to your fingertips, as you can see. So let's switch back to my primary MP5K weapon, and this is where it gets weird. As you can see again on the secondary camera, these hairline triggers, these are actually pulling on the analog stick, and you have the ability to choose how sensitive they are. They're pretty well sensitive for me right now, and so the weird thing and what I'm trying to get used to is moving all these buttons, but also figuring out a way to hold it. It is a little bit bizarre, and since these trigger lines get in the way, it's kind of, I haven't really decided which fingers I want to shoot with. First I was using the pinky, and now I've moved to both those, but you could probably even do these if you balance the controller on the table. So it's a little bit weird, but this is my current setup, as you can see right there. So we're moving around, we spot our target, and all we have to do is pull the pull this bracket right here, as you can see on the game. If you pull that, you can see a scope in. So you can also put it right here, as you did before. You can also pull all the Clear Man Fu Manchu back here. And depending on how sensitive it is, I could barely touch it and it would zoom in. They're pretty sensitive, but they could be way more sensitive, so much so that it doesn't. So as you can see, I just killed myself. But as you can see right there, that already zooms in automatically. So we need a little bit less than that. Same there. But right there, I barely touched that, as you can see on the secondary camera, and I'm scoping in. So you can change how sensitive they are. I have them kind of at a medium setting, a little bit sensitive, but you still have some leeway, so if you accidentally bump it, you're not walking around and you don't scope in. So you can scope in, and then the same holds true with the trigger. Pull that to fire. Again, it's pretty sensitive, but not as sensitive as it could be. And then if we wanted to reload, to hit X, again, you hit this weird secondary button, excuse me, not that one, that one, and then you're good to go. So you can walk around, and it gives you a little bit more mobility because you have more buttons on hand without having to move around in different places. So you can see that it's pretty well designed. It's a little bit weird with the buttons right here, so throwing your secondary grenade and then of course your frag grenade or your lethal weapon is a little bit more bizarre than what it should be. So overall, I think it's a very interesting little mount. I'll tell you if my kill-death ratio increases over the next few weeks while I use this, but you know, it's definitely weird in the beginning. I'm still trying to get used to it, still trying to figure out how to work stuff and how to get going on, because it is really bizarre. But it is a cool little invention, and as far as I'm concerned, it's, you know, honestly, I can't even say what I think about it yet because I've played with it for an hour. Obviously, it's weird. Obviously, it's uncomfortable. The question is, will that improve over the next coming weeks while I play my games, and will I do better than I did before with this standard controller layout? So, this is Quinn, That Snazzy iPhone Guy. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay snazzy. See you later, folks.